Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Dr. Stone, Stone Wars. Last time around we had Stone Wars Beginning, where basically it was pretty much the night before everything was going to go down, and Gen came up with an idea to use the cell phones and mimic Lillian's voice in order to fool Tsukasa's army into thinking that America was fine, so they would lay down their weapons and not fight in a war, and instead they would retreat, and then they could defeat Tsukasa and take control of the revival cave. Yes, that is basically where we left off. And also they made instant ramen. So, yeah. That's that. Anywho, like always, the reaction is down in the description and in the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure, so why don't we just go ahead and jump right into this episode of Dr. Stone, Stone Wars. Here we go. Alrighty. They got the cell phone there. And Tsukasa is none the wiser. Oh, good grief. That was a very clever thing. I didn't even think about just using the cell phones in order to coordinate taking out Homura. But that's the whole point. That's why we made them. We made these things specifically for this. Oh boy. Communication warfare. You know, it kind of makes you wonder, like, if you took ancient battles and you gave one of them a cell phone, well, two cell phones technically, two radios. If you did that, how would it change? Like, what's like a really close battle that we could use as an example? I don't know if it was close. I don't know enough history about it, but let's just say the Trojan War. Let's say the battle between the Greeks and the Trojans. Let's say you give the Trojans a cell phone, though, and they understand what it is and they know how to use it. Yeah, I would assume that, yeah, that would be such a turning point, because you'd have scouts and just be like, yo, get the fuck out of there, you know? It's like, yo, they're coming over here, yo, we're gonna go do this. For some reason, I just assumed the Trojans say yo a lot, so I don't know. I mean, I know they don't say yo, but I don't know. It's an interesting thought, but yeah, probably if one of their sides had, well, I guess one thing is, it would be if the Trojans and the Greeks both had an understanding of what a cell phone was, but only the Trojans had one. I guess that's the difference, you know? That's the difference, because Tsukasa and everyone in the Tsukasa Empire has an understanding of what a cell phone is. They just don't have the scientifical prowess in order to make one, you know? That's the difference. So, whereas, funny enough, most of the people on Senku's team don't actually understand it, but they have it, and they're able to use it, mainly because Gen knows how to use it. Gen understands it and knows how to use it. Senku knows how to use it, obviously. And then Taiju and Yuzuriha know how to use it, so obviously they didn't make the controls too complicated. It is funny that it is just a phone, too. It's not even like, they don't even really make it like more radio-like, which is what I thought they were going to do. It's like, no, it fucking rings like a cell phone. Like, you got to start, dialing in the whoever you're calling. Though I'm sure, because there's only two of them, they just hit the button, basically, in order to call someone. So, and then, because that must be it, is that you press the button. So it is very radio-like. It just has a ring when there is a call come in, so you know that a call has come in. So it is sort of half radio, just half telephone. But thanks to the ring, and obviously the fact that it's only going to one thing, it's only going to one other phone. So Gen is able to use Morse code because he's smart like that, and figure that out. And Senku's smart too, so he knows the Morse code, and that allowed them to communicate without even actually talking to each other, because Homura was watching them, and they had to coordinate and catch her just after she realized what it was. So yeah, that was very, very clever. So yeah, and I like too the way they catch her is basically, it's interesting because it's like, she has such great speed, which very obviously Kohaku is as fast as her, if just maybe not as nimble, and so she can't close the distance between them. She can't close the distance between them. But I like that that idea of having her fall and Kohaku catch her, because honestly, yeah, it's like she's really, really fast, but when she's falling, she falls like everything else. Everything falls at the same speed. So if you can outspeed that, then you can get her. That's the only speed you have to take into account. They did that on The Flash a long time ago, on The Flash, the TV show, where he was fighting a villain, and they both he basically led him up a thing, and they both jumped off and kept fighting. And it's like, it doesn't matter if the enemy is faster; they're both falling the exact same way. So that was very, very clever. And then obviously Kohaku being the one to restrain Homura, because yeah, it's just like, I like that little moment where Homura just pauses and then just almost gently bumps Senku off, because it's just like, Senku is not strong enough to hold her down, but he is smart enough to make a flash grenade, at least. And a UV light, too. I like that the UV light was actually the simplest thing they could make, so. And then we also had the moment of Kohaku questioning, do they need to kill her? Do they need to kill people in this war? And I do like that moment where, Senku is just like, Kohaku, have you ever killed someone? And I like just that quick moment, just, well, no, of course I haven't. Just like almost innocently, is like, no, of course I haven't. But I know I'll hesitate. And so it's interesting. It does seem like Senku has really taken that into account, not even just as a moral standpoint of, no, we're not going to kill anyone. Although, I think he does have that moral standpoint. That's the whole reason he's against Tsukasa in the first place. But at the same time, I think it is just him considering who he has, Like, none of these people have ever killed people before. The closest, who maybe could do that is Magma, but we don't even know. Like, maybe Magma would hesitate, And I like that moment, too, where Gen stops him from destroying the statues, because he remembers that kid, He remembers that kid in the stone, and it's just like, no, I try to act like this cold pragmatist, but I just can't do it. And honestly, what it reminds you of is that Gen is a teenage boy who, up until, he was reborn, depetrified, he was just a normal boy. I mean, yeah, he was a mentalist and he was on TV and stuff like that. But still, you don't expect a guy on a Friday morning game show or whatever, on a Friday morning variety show, to go in and just kill someone in cold blood, You don't really expect that. Not saying it can't happen. But like normal people, which Gen is far and away a normal person, In fact, most of them are probably normal people, with the exception of Tsukasa. Tsukasa is the one who's radicalized, from his time before the stone, and now after, and it's just like, he is far beyond everything, but he's abnormal, He's abnormal, even though he is also a teenage boy. You kind of forget that with how fucking tall and jacked he is, but he is also a teenage boy. And there are some teenage boys that are killers. But a good majority, like, I'm going to say like 99.99% of teenage boys are not bloodthirsty psychopaths, you know? So that's the thing. This episode is really good, I must say. Very, 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 very good. I mean, if anything, just because we got more into the Stone Wars, you know? Last episode, I was very... I mean, mainly because I question their whole zombie Lillian plan, but I'm glad for this episode. It's like, all right, let's fucking shit's going down now. Like, we are making moves against Tsukasa, so yeah, that... Oh, it's so good. So interesting. And now Taiju and Yuzuriha have the phone, and they finally got to talk to Senku after all this time. So I like that the two of them have teared up. I love that Senku, he's close. He strikes me as a kid that doesn't cry. And that's perfectly fine. I was not a kid who cried either, really. Well, after a point. At a point, like as a teenage boy, I have not really cried in like 20 years. I don't know. I don't know if that says anything or not. I don't really care, but Senku doesn't strike me as it. But he gets emotional, which I get emotional too. You know, I still get emotional even if I don't shed tears. So, but I like, you can clearly see that effect on him hearing Taiju again after all this time. So yeah, we got some good shit going on now. I'm excited. Get excited! I'm so excited to keep going. But that is basically it. With all of that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of my Dr. Stone reactions, as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.